Mind you, this is on live TV. A doctor just admitted that Joe Biden had cancer during his presidency. Man.
His prostate cancer has spread to the bone, that he could have had it for up to a decade, but certainly it's likely, would it be fair to say, it's likely to have had this for at least several years?
Oh, more than several years. You don't get prostate cancer.
So again, I just want to stop you. So this is not speculation. If you have prostate cancer that is spread to the bone, then he's most certainly, you were saying, had it when he was president of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. He did not develop it in the last 100, 200 days. He had it while he was president. He probably had it at the start of his presidency in 2021. Yes, that I don't think there's any disagreement about that.
And I'm just curious again, if your doctor to a president of the United States that is a male, that is an older man, would a prostate test, and again, we're just talking about a PSA screening, a blood test that you could do along with all the other blood tests. It's not even that it would be intrusive. Would this not be one of the first tests that you would conduct as a White House doctor?
If you're a White House doctor in this situation, I think you would certainly discuss it with the president and talk about the pros and cons. I think if you then ask, well, if President Biden says, well, if I'm your father, which patients often do, what would you recommend? I think the fact is that most White House doctors would recommend getting the test. And again, the evidence is, look at President Obama, President Bush, younger than President Biden, and they both got the.
They just blew the whole thing up on live TV. Again, this doctor just admitted that Biden had cancer as early as 2001, his whole presidency. They knew, and they covered it up. Now the truth is leaking out. Man, now the cover-up is definitely confirmed, as you just seen there. Now, while his doctor told us last year that Joe was healthy and active 81-year-old, he was hiding the aggressive prostate cancer situation that had already spread, mind you. And, you can't say that that was a mistake. That's definitely intentional. Look at this. In 2024, then President Biden's physician claimed he was a healthy, active, robust 81-year-old male who remains fit to successfully execute the duties of the presidency. Then 1 year later, Biden is diagnosed with aggressive prostate cancer. Is that not scandal? I mean, here we go. This is basically saying he's fit to execute the duties. You can read it for yourself. And then boom. Biden saying I had cancer years ago. Yeah. Who's really running the country? Who was really running the country, rather? Here's a clip that's been going viral. Biden literally said 2 years ago that he had cancer. Y'all check this out.
And because it was a 4-lane highway that was accessible, my mother drove us, and rather than us be able to walk. And guess what? The first frost, you know what was happening? You had to put on your windshield wipers to get literally the oil slick off the window. That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer. And why can't, for the longest time, Delaware had the highest cancer rate in the nation.
What? No, we're not laughing at nobody's sickness at all. Not. The what? Like, if Biden was sick for this long, who was really making the decisions? Now we got to find out. Now we find out even the Autopen The thing signing his name wasn't even being used by him. Rep. James Comer says potential staffers who operated Biden's Autopen have been identified. Everyone is being brought to the end for interviews, subpoenas, and depositions right now, y'all.
You are going and looking at who is controlling this Autopen, because Joe Biden, I mean, he's demonstrating that he doesn't have all the cognitive capabilities they had. That interview was from 2023.
Yeah, that's hard evidence. Early in the President Biden's term as president, it clearly shows that he was in significant mental decline. It questions who was actually making the decisions. So what we found is not just with the pardons he issued, but many of the executive orders that the courts are now using to Trump-proof many of the executive orders that President Trump is trying to implement to make government more efficient. Many of these executive orders, as well as the pardons of Biden's entire family as a result of our investigation, these were all signed with the Autopen. And clearly from that interview, which was many, many months prior to the heavy use of the Autopen, Joe Biden wasn't capable of making decisions. He wasn't coherent. We think we've identified who the staffers are. Jason, you all have done great work with that over at Heritage Oversight. We're going to bring everyone that we believe was involved in any role in the use of the Autopen. We're going to invite them to come in for a transcribed interview. If they want, then they will receive a subpoena and they will have a full-blown deposition. But we want to find out who was actually making the decisions in the White House during the last 9 months of the Biden administration when he was clearly in mental decline.
Man, it's really hard for you to be a Democrat in 2025 with all this information coming out. What? It's not even him. Dog, it's one thing to have something that can auto-sign something, but that's what really makes it dangerous. Anybody could have been signing anything on your behalf, bro. Passing anything. We could have been getting, man, he was already being invaded from the border, but imagine, what is that? Tell you what, though, the media got caught. They did. Trump, Obama's, and Bush's medical exams are all easily accessible, but Biden's isn't. They covered it up. This might be the biggest scandal in modern history, they wrote. Ooh, I'm messing up all my words today. Hey.
Going to run for president for another 4 years. Obviously, the PSA exam is not 100% accurate, and I've never met a doctor that doesn't say you needed to do the PSA exam and also have the physical exam as well. I just find it hard to believe that any White House physician wouldn't say, okay, well, what my doctor and what every other doctor says, which is, okay, we've done the PSA test and that's fine, but at least once a year, we need to do a physical exam. Again, if you're just talking about a 78-year-old guy that is not running the free world, that's one thing. But if you're a White House physician and you have any man over 40 years old, are you not going to at least say, hey, once a year, like every other physician says, once a year, we need to do a physical exam and check? Because this is like one of the leading causes, one of the leading sicknesses for men over 40.
Yeah, I mean, Joe, I think 100%. And, did they do a digital rectal exam to assess his prostate? Again, typically that's done in the presence of symptoms. To your point, he's the leader of the free world. Did they do it and not characterize it? It's hard to know. We're speculating here. I would say in an abundance of caution, probably be holistic and comprehensive. That would make sense.
Yeah, I know. Everybody trying to hit that.
It is interesting to note that President Trump's, President Obama's, and President Bush II, in their most recent physicals, in their terms of office, obviously 2025 for President Trump, did comment on their PSA levels. And so they got screened while in office and they commented on it. It's not easy to access the most recent ones from President Biden. You can read summary articles. I couldn't access it on the archive site on the White House just before I came on. But according to those that were able to, there is not a report of a PSA test on the most recent physical that was read out for President Biden's last year in office. And so it's to say what was done, what was not done. You and I would be speculating, but the other three most recent occupants of the White House had it drawn, and it was reported out. In the case of President.
Yeah. Some Just Jen wrote under here. I say we claim 2020 through 2024 a mulligan and keep Trump in office until 2032. Gunther Eagleman posted, Joe Biden's presidency was just one big lie. Of course it was all one big lie. Somebody said, you do know Trump exam is fake, but I guess this isn't a scandal. Or you really think he is perfect. He's in perfect health and built like a linebacker, LOL. I mean, look at how he operates. Speaking of how Trump operates, he responded. Melania, and I are saddened to hear about Joe Biden's recent medical diagnosis. We extend our warmest and best wishes to Jill and the family, and we wish Joe a fast, successful recovery. And while all this is going on, look at how your boy Trump handling this. Still gay prayers. Still showing love. Showing class. Even after they used lawfare against him, tried to lock him up, they attacked him and attacking him relentlessly. They lie on him. And he tweets, Melania and I are saddened. Doesn't mean Trump isn't watching. Y'all remember this earlier last month?
To the world. Go ahead.
Next, we have a series of proclamations for your attention, sir. This is a proclamation declaring National Mental Health Awareness Month. Mental health and that basket of issues has been a major priority for Secretary Kennedy since he got into office. It's been a major priority for your administration. This is just a proclamation declaring this month to be National Mental Health Awareness Month.
Okay. See, no auto pen. Isn't it nice? Isn't it nice to have a president that doesn't need an auto pen, so that somebody that you have no idea who the person is, who's actually the president of our country, they ought to look into that auto pen stuff. That's not right, what took place for 4 years. To the world.
Yeah, man. With Trump on that. They told us Biden was fine. They hid his cancer situation. They used Autopen. We don't even know who was operating that, like, at all. And we even see liberals are stunned about this. This ain't just deception, y'all. This is scandal, man. And we still don't know who's been really running the country. Who's really been making the calls? Of course, everybody speculates Obama. But we never really know, man. I'll tell you what, though. Y'all be safe. Go check with somebody today. You could be saving their life. Peace.